Good evening and welcome back to PBS. Tonight's special episode will be a remembrance and celebration of our friend and colleague, Gwen Ifill. Gwendolyn Ifill, known to many as Gwen Ifill, was born on September 29, 1955 in Jamaica, Queens, New York. She was the daughter of Eleanor and Oliver Ifill, who was an African Methodist Episcopal minister. In 1973, Gwen graduated from Classical High School before attending Simpson's College, where she later earned her bachelor's degree in communication. While attending college, Gwen received a hateful letter which said, quote, "N-word, go home." Instead of backing down, Gwen took this letter to an editor at Boston Herald American, where she was later offered an internship. This moment marked the beginning of her remarkable career in journalism. To tell us more about Gwen's career in journalism, here's Sheehan.
Gwen Ifill was one of the most respected and groundbreaking journalists in American media, and her career represented a major shift in who gets to shape the national conversation. As one of the few black women in political journalism during the 1980s, she worked in newsrooms that were still overwhelmingly white and male. Her early political reporting for the Washington Post and the New York Times demonstrated her ability to cover national power structure with depth and clarity. Later, she and Judy Woodruff co-anchored PBS NewsHour, making them the first two women to jointly lead a national nightly news broadcast. She also demonstrated vice presidential debates in 2004 and 2008, where her questioning style was widely recognized by balanced and rigorous. The historical period in which she worked from the Reagan era through Barack Obama's election was one of the major political change and growing media polarization. In her book, The Breakthrough: Politics and Race in the Age of Obama, Ifill reflects on how race and representation were evolving in American political life. Her legacy opened pathways for future journalists of color and strengthened the standard of integrity in public journalism. So next, let's turn to Elisa to discuss some of the major accomplishments in Gwen Ifill's life.
Thanks, Shane. Gwen Ifill helped shape the way America understands politics and race through her many accomplishments. In 1999, she became the first black woman to host a national political talk show when she took over PBS's Washington Week in Review. Known for her accuracy, respect, and thoughtful questioning, Ifill brought depth and dignity to every discussion.
Is Washington Week in Review for Friday, October 1st, 1999. Now, here's moderator Gwen Ifill.
Good evening. A big week in presidential politics involving Democrats, Republicans, even movie stars. Democrat Bill Bradley suddenly a viable candidate, forcing Vice President Al Gore into a defensive crouch.
But it was her 2009 book, The Breakthrough: Politics and Race in the Age of Obama, that captured her vision for the future of American politics. Drawing on years of reporting, she explored how a new generation of black leaders, including Barack Obama, Cory Booker, Deval Patrick, and Arthur Davis, was reshaping the political landscape. In a quote from the book, Ifill stated, "Barack Obama's relentless and disciplined giant-slaying campaign is by no means the only story. The book will tell the rest." That affirmation captures her purpose, not merely to chronicle one moment, but the larger generation and movement behind it. The book sparked controversy before its release, when critics questioned her impartiality as moderator of the 2008 vice presidential debate. But Ifill, confident in her record, simply said, "The proof is in the pudding." The night after, she delivered a fair, poised performance that silenced her doubters. In 2013, she and Judy Woodruff became the first all-female co-anchors of PBS NewsHour, and even while quietly battling cancer in 2016, she continued to make history co-moderating a Democratic primary debate.
It's at the NewsHour where I started to do a lot more anchoring, something I also resisted in the same way I resisted television. I didn't like the idea of being trapped in a studio, chained to a desk and reading the news every night. But if you can find a way to make it work with lots of other things, which is what we do, because we do interviews, we're not just reading the news, it can be very interesting, and it can be very engaging. And I never know for sure whether it is until I go out on the road in the country and people tell me how much they enjoy it.
Through her reporting and her writing, Gwen Ifill created a legacy built with insight and integrity, which Ariana will discuss next.
Gwen Ifill is a prominent journalist that truly left her mark on the industry through her trailblazing journalism, integrity, and representation. Most importantly, she broke barriers by being one of the first Black women to hold prominent roles in American political journalism and broadcast news. Whether it was New York Times, NBC News, or here at PBS, she changed the game and made a significant impact. One of the best memories we have of her was when she co-anchored PBS NewsHour with Judy Woodruff, making them the first two women to jointly anchor a national evening news broadcast here in the U.S. Her legacy lies in how she opened the door for future journalists of color, not to mention women as well, and showed that thoughtful, fact-based journalism can challenge bias and expand representation in the field. Her commitment to public service journalism was inspiring, along with her calm interviewing style. Gwen Ifill is remembered as both an exceptional journalist and a groundbreaking figure who reshaped American media while inspiring future generations to pursue journalism with integrity and purpose. That's all for tonight's segment of Gwen Ifill, so thank you for tuning in and have a good night.